So the NBA in recent years has gone through many changes, not just the on-court product with three-point shooting, the pace of play, but also in the back end with the franchise evaluations keep climbing higher and higher. These new owners don't want to buy into the league where their superstar players are just requesting trades or just having freedom of movement. And in recent years, these things have been slowly crafted out as NBA free agency looks bleak going from season to season. Former NBA superstars Carmelo Anthony and DeMarcus Cousins had did a sit-down where they talked about a lot of the changes throughout the leagues, teams moving off of superstars at a young age, even with them still being able to sell tickets and maintain their statistical numbers. Carmelo Anthony himself also verified the amount of equity that his draft class came into the league with. Guys like LeBron James with all the hype coming out of high school, Carmelo Anthony winning the national championship, and that was only added on top of the noise that guys like Allen Iverson was making just a few years prior, and just all the sway he had over his head coach Larry Brown when it came to the 76ers franchise. I've always stated in my previous segments that the NBA was at an inflection point between the power struggle of the head coach and the superstar player when Allen Iverson first came in, and the amount of power the players had actually superseded the head coaches once LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony came into the NBA with just all that sweat equity that they built on the amateur circuit. NBA teams since that point instantly gave the keys to the franchise to the young rookie stars coming in. And that was something that was not happening prior to, because even with Kobe Bryant just making his NBA appearance a couple years before, still had to bend the knee to his head coach and submit to that power dynamic of just coming off the bench. But in this sit down, Carmelo Anthony not only confirms having all that equity coming into the league, but also the NBA kind of pivoting towards more of an NFL style system where the owners and franchises have more leverage than the superstar players. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
And it was hard to reach back and talk to another player or young player, because we didn't have that. Nobody told us how to do this shit. We came in and ruffled the feathers and like kicked the door down.
Yeah.
And we made people look at like, oh shit, we gotta watch these motherfuckers right here. Everybody was scrambling when we came in the league. And we had to really make our mark. It was your team. It was you and your team. That's it. So it's easy to become a narrative, right? When it's just you, your team. Because I got to do the bulk of what I'm known for. So I'm not a I told you so type of guy. You know what I mean? But because you go through situations, the way that the situations is handled will never change. So you just know it's happening. It's happened before me, it happened to me, and it's gonna continue happening. That's just the nature of the beast.
They ain't showing no love.
So when you look at
this shit,
and
crazy.
it's even more quicker now. It's even more ferocious now because they don't have the patience no more. Because that money make you have less patience to deal with shit. If you ain't ready to go right away as a young player, you on a hot seat.
On to the next.
If you ain't producing, it ain't like you signed a 4-year deal and it might take you a year to get your feet wet, and the second year you come back, and third year you start. Nah, hell no.
Yeah, those days are over in the NBA. Matter of fact, Trae Young and Luka, when they came in, they kind of set a new standard by the age of 22, already making the conference finals, multiple playoff runs, multiple all-NBA team appearances. I've noticed teams since then started to have less patience. And not only that, today the league is a lot younger. The situation with how many two-way guys teams could have, and NBA owners today, they're leveraging the global talent pool that's coming into the league or just trying to get into the league and sort of weaving out the veterans or just having certain contracts on the books long term. They can have a bunch of two-way guys going in and out, and they even have the second apron excuse why they don't want to have to pay guys. It's a tricky thing. Teams are definitely getting impatient. Paolo Banchero, he's coming down that pipeline where the Orlando Magic are going to have to reassess as certain tax implications become reality. Same thing for Ja Morant and Trae Young. They're not even well into their late 20s, and not only teams are ready to move off these guys, other teams are letting it be known we're not necessarily even interested in those contracts.
Gotta be ready now.
You gotta be ready to go now.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start talking about just innate, like how the game is going is really fucked up on how the game is going. So I told a lot of guys, because you in my position, I only can speak because you in my position.
Right.
So I can talk to you because you're in my position. AD, Russ, CP. Told niggas.
Russ holding on though.
Russ holding on
a second, brother. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They put my guy on a non-guaranteed.
I'm just saying you see it happen. You see it unfolding. You just look at what's happening in the landscape and you just see it unfolding.
Now, Melo's really good with his political talk. He's going to say things without necessarily saying things, but if I was to take a guess, the NBA owners have completely weaved out a lot of that player movement or just that player empowerment from the mid-2010s. Guys like Kevin Durant signing an extension in Brooklyn and quickly asking for a trade. James Harden himself forcing his way out of multiple teams. It's starting to look like the owners have carefully crafted the NBA infrastructure where even if a star like Ja Morant asks to leave his team, it's hard for other teams to even be interested because of the second apron rules and just how tricky it is to trade players trying to match salary for salary. Once again, the NBA historically has never liked free agency. The players in the 80s had to fight for over 7 years just to get free agency, but the first initial version of it was where if a guy left the team, that team would have to be compensated. And eventually in the 90s, that's the first time they really had real free agency where a guy could just walk away and the team where he would go to wouldn't have to necessarily worry about compensating the team for losing a player. There's always been a level of socialism when it comes to these NBA owners. The luxury tax system, sharing that revenue, losing teams getting a first overall pick. There's always been a guaranteed floor of compensation in case things go wrong for these NBA owners. So player movement goes completely against that. And fast forward, just looking at the NBA today, all that shit is completely weaved out.
DeMar, Zach LaVine. Like this shit is about to start unfolding for a lot of them.
Yeah. They get the new generation out quick.
Shit,
I mean, the old
Draymond.
generation out quick.
Draymond, you see the shit he said the other day, like, and that's real shit. I'm heart and soul of this shit.
And that's facts.
I'm the heart and soul of the Warriors organization. Y'all ain't about to do that. Like, let's have a little bit more respect in that. If I'm a GM and I got a plan, and this is my plan, I got a solid plan, 4 years plan of me being the GM. Nothing could fuck my plan up. I don't give a fuck win, loss, and different. You can't fuck my plan up.
Right.
Now I can make little adjustments within you can't fuck my plan up. You can't fuck my overall 4-year plan up.
Right.
So to make these quick decisions like that, unless it's gonna change my trajectory of where I'm trying to go, I ain't pulling no triggers like that. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening now. The fans has an influence. The media has an influence. Money has an influence. And what's going on out here? Every year there's a trade. Like as far as like, should he or should he not be traded? Like the best player on every team.
Right.
It's like why are we going through that?
Now, Melo, you know why this is happening. The NBA owners have a great relationship with the media. They do push their agenda. Make no mistake about it. A prime example I'm going to give is when Woj used to say teams are going to run out of money after the first few days of free agency, which is not true. That's a narrative that benefits the owners as certain players rush to get deals and they end up taking less money. Matter of fact, I covered this in a segment. I'll put in the link in the description below. As Mark Termini, the person who helped LeBron James and Rich Paul form Clutch Sports, spoke on this dynamic. But in today's times, we're seeing the devaluation of just a collective of NBA superstars, unless you're on a Luka, Jokic, SGA level. It's mainly being done through the way the league is structured financially, of how players could get paid. The media, of course, adds another dynamic to it. Also, to a lesser degree, the fans.
That's cool.
That's a little crazy.
It's cool.
That's crazy.
It's like,
That's cool,
you mean
bro.
to tell me there's no value you can get out in the trade at the trade market that is more valuable as a franchise than LeBron's final years as a pro on your team.
Look, bro, listen. What he's doing he's living long enough to be a villain. Like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's doing. Like, he's doing everything at the top, still at the top of the top. Like, he's still holding this league down. This league don't move without Bron. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
That's a fact.
It don't move without Bron
Absolutely.
until he's gone, right? So his position in this game is bigger than just these wins and losses throughout the course of the season.
Yeah.
I gotta hold. You're not coming against my plan. I gotta get my body right. This is my plan, and I gotta stick with my plan. So if you're gonna be mad at him leaving LA, fuck are you mad about? You see it writing on the wall, man.
Right. No, I mean,
because of the influence that's out there.
Yeah.
Y'all pushing him out in a sense.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all pushing him out. Y'all never accepted him in LA anyway from the beginning.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So
It's
he
always
did
been
what
weird.
he did,
Yeah.
being who he is, and did it his way. So the motherfucker should be at this point, year 23, 24.
23.
I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like, if I want to go back to Cleveland, I'm going back to Cleveland.
I hope you do.
That situation when LeBron James, we're seeing plenty of pushback by the Lakers, especially with Jeannie Buss in that article that was released by Ethan Baxter of ESPN. A lot of the comments within that article was to devalue LeBron James. That should have been an eye-opener for the other NBA stars, particularly guys who are going through issues like Ja Morant and Trae Young. LeBron has definitely helped the Buss children be in position to sell that franchise for $10 billion because ever since their father passed away, they've been lost. They rank number 26 out of 30 NBA teams in total wins since their father had passed in 2013 till current day. And LeBron James, even providing all that great fortune, is still getting dragged through the mud by the franchise because at the end of the day, Jeannie Buss does not like the fact that LeBron James holds a lot of power within that franchise. That was another thing that was stated within that same article. Once again, if you look at the NBA historically, the owners never like players having too much power within their franchise.
I mean, speaking of a narrative, a guy like Cam Thomas, I mean, he literally just got waived today.
It's crazy.
Put under a narrative
That's
of
crazy.
And it's just like that. The kid got so much talent, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all he needs is the right coaching, the right system, the right way to harness his talent. Like, he's a productive player in this league. He's shown it. Waived.
It's crazy.
Not only was he waived, other teams had no interest into signing him. This is the very first time fans are seeing players who clearly have talent. Whether you believe Cam Thomas should be a starter or not, even if he came off the bench, he definitely could put the ball in the bucket. And he's coming off a favorable rookie scale contract. It's not like teams would have to break the bank in order to get the guy.
Waived.
It's crazy.
Why? Because they think he's selfish on an already ass team. Like, huh? Y'all ass, and you found a way to label somebody selfish?
You want him to be able
What's he doing?
You want him to be able to fit.
He's sticking
in
out
within
like,
the system.
I
of
gotta
being
know.
ass.
you want him to stick in with everybody being ass. Like,
Yo, 20-point per game scores don't grow on trees.
You
man.
feel me?
Especially
Like,
when the team is
consistently?
already terrible. Yeah.
consistently, and like I had a conversation about this before with Gil and them. Like, the narrative, like, it's just easy to average a lot of points on a bad team.
come on,
That's
man.
not a real thing.
Right.
You don't see that all the time, bro.
Nah.
Like, there are cases, but you mean to tell me you think that a guy's averaging 28 a game on a so-called bad team, you think it's gonna drop to 12 when he gets on a good team? Like, you can't make me believe that that's not the case. Now, if the numbers support it, you shooting 38, you making a lot of points. Then he's probably a ball hog. He just jacking shots. The numbers are supported.
Right.
But we talking about a dude that's really getting to it. You flirting around 50%.
Yeah.
You the best player on a bad team. You getting all the attention on defense.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
still scoring.
That don't really add up to me. Like,
And at some point,
that's even harder to do.
At some
Great point brought up by DeMarcus Cousins right here. The fact that his field goal percentage is so high, he's on a bad team, all the attention is on him, while at the same time he hits restricted free agency and no teams are interested. Sheesh. You know, the NBA is really headed towards an NFL style model. You can even look at their television deal. Every single team gets the same amount of money.
Coaching got to step in too, where it's like, yo, you are one of the best in your profession in the world at this. Like, shouldn't you be able to make this work for your team? Like, how am I giving you?
And I am. That's what he gonna say. I am.
Right.
I am. You know why? Because I just drafted 5 motherfuckers that I want to develop.
Right.
Right. So I'm not in the rush to get where Cam want to go right now. I'm not in the rush. I am.
And you could tell what a kid mind at right now. He's chasing. He wants to be great, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He ain't out here like he doesn't want to fit in.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I hope the kid get another chance. And you know,
that's a really good narrative right there.
That's crazy.
But a kid like that gonna go overseas and become a fucking legend.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, why didn't he wasn't that good? Yes, he was.
Nah, he's good. And most
Yes, he
teams,
was.
most
He was
teams
that
out there
good.
know he's good though. Most teams know
Beasley have
Cam
the
is.
same similar
Bro,
situation.
it's a lot.
You know
It
what I
happens
mean?
a lot.
Lots
It really
of
does. It
guys.
happens a lot. It's a lot of talent that gets overlooked in this league based off narratives. And the narratives may not even be necessarily close to the truth. You know, now some of them, hey.
Cam issue, the only issue that he has right now is he should have signed that 4-year deal.
He should have.
That's the only issue. He should have took that 4-year deal.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And this is a thin line between betting on yourself and being
Crapping out.
and being smart though.
Right.
And you can still be smart and bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't just bet all the way on yourself like that.
Man, some team is gonna pick him.
Somebody else, another player who dealt with that, Dennis Schroeder, right?
Yeah.
Another player. And again, there's nothing wrong with betting on yourself.
I would say the same thing for Nerlens Noel, Reggie Jackson. There's been a few NBA players coming off of that rookie scale contract, and things kind of get funny in the light. Even Jonathan Kuminga going into that last year about to hit unrestricted free agency, the Warriors began to devalue him in the marketplace, not only benching him for certain games, but just making comments throughout the media. And now he's in Atlanta. We're seeing that there was plenty of talent there.
But be smart about betting on yourself too. So Cam, that's another thing. They saying the same thing. Brooklyn, Cam, you should have took this 4-year deal.
Right.
You ain't take the deal, so you're not part of our plan anymore.
Right.
And that's what he's dealing with.
And
And
worse
also,
than
we
that-
can't have 2 of you niggas over here. We can't have you and MPJ over here. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, but why can't they make that work?
That's
why not put
I'm
some
saying
real
this at
talent?
the beginning of the year.
I'm saying,
Why can't you put talent
we
on
think
those
like,
shit?
like that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. We about to get to it.
Right.
They not thinking that.
Now notice right there how Melo said the Nets are not thinking like that. AKA, they don't want to have MPJ's contract along with Cam Thomas's on the books. That's all it is. The GM and the president, they probably have different players that they're kind of eyeing to fill up the cap. But it is what it is. The fans are seeing this season for the very first time that the era of the player movement is virtually gone. Anthony Davis, LaMelo Ball, Ja Morant, Trae Young virtually almost had no real suitors when rumors of them being on the trade block was made. There's been a lot of anonymous sources completely devaluing a lot of these guys, especially the ones that were eligible for brand new contracts, Trae Young, Anthony Davis. It's looking like the NBA owners have taken their power back. Carmelo Anthony, a player at the time when he was in the league, completely has sway on the direction of where his career has gone, and really he's spot on in sensing the fact that the power dynamic is shifting back into the owner's favor. Definitely interesting times that we're in. But I'll provide the link in the description below of my true NBA business story playlist. You guys can get a great timeline of a lot of these stories playing out. And I'm sure there's going to be more follow-ups to this very same dynamic. But that's all I have for today. You guys definitely check out the other true NBA story playlist. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.